Formula One is on the eve of a new era. With new technical regulations coming into the sport, it's quite possible that the pecking order as we know it from recent years will shift here and there. But also, outside of those regulation changes, a number of other major changes are being made to the sport for this new season. So let's have a look at the biggest changes that are coming into Formula One this year away from those new aerodynamic regulations. Number 1, a new weekend format. Starting with the new weekend format then, the layout as we know it from recent years has been slightly adjusted. The Friday practice session, each 60 minutes long of course, will both be held in the afternoon from next year. This allows the teams to meet their media obligations on Friday morning. Thursday, formerly known as Media Day, will now be deleted from the schedule. So a race weekend goes from 4 days down to just 3. This way, the teams are away from home for less time, which is something that's certainly needed with a massive 23 races on the calendar for this year. Number 2, budget caps being reduced again. The budget cap will be lowered this season from $145 million to a mere $140 million. As of 2023, this will drop another $5 million to $135 million. This ceiling was implemented last year to reduce the financial advantage of the larger teams compared to the smaller stables. However, there is a good chance that the amount will end up exceeding $140 million this year. Formula One has made the concession that if more than 21 races are held, the ceiling will be raised by $1.2 million per race. This year, there are 23 races on the calendar, and so if all are run, the budget cap will therefore be increased to $142.4 million. In addition to that, the extra sprint race weekends that the sport has in mind are still food for further thought. Number 3, sprint race weekends. Which brings us nicely to our next point. Formula One wants to use the sprint race format during 6 race weekends as opposed to the 3 weekends of last season. However, a number of teams believe that the budget cap should also be raised because sprint races involve an extra chance of damage and other costs. This is why there is still plenty of discussion behind the scenes. Number 4, engine development freeze. Formula One is currently using hybrid engines that were introduced in 2014. However, new engine regulations will apply from 2026, with the main focus being on sustainability. In order to cut costs and help Red Bull with their acquisition of the Honda engine, and to give all teams ample time to focus on the development of this new power unit, further development of the current power unit has been frozen from this year. Now, if all goes well, none of the teams will make big gains in terms of power over the next 4 years. However, this does not mean that if it turns out that there is a reliability problem with one of the power sources, it should not be solved. Teams can apply to the FIA to make changes, but only when it comes to reliability, safety, cost saving, or minimal one-off adjustments. Number 5, mandatory rookies behind the wheel. To give young talent the opportunity to get acquainted with Formula One, from this year on the teams will be obliged to put a rookie behind the wheel at least twice during free practice in the season. A rookie driver, in inverted commas, is one who has a maximum of 2 Grand Prix to their name. Now, there was already the option to have a free practice run by a rookie, but the larger racing stables in particular have never made use of this. Where and when the teams decide to bring in the rookies, well, that's up for them to decide. And lastly, watch Formula One via F1 TV. Do you want to continue watching Formula One in this upcoming season like the rest of us do? Well, you can watch it via the official F1 TV Pro that can stream live to your television for less than €5.50 per month. Another change coming into Formula One and the way that we consume it as fans. Which is going to be the biggest of these changes? Let us know in the comments section below. Surely it's that freezing on the development of the engine until 2026, but all of these could make an impact in one way or another in this upcoming season. And of course, get onto GPFans.com for all of the regulation changes for this season and all the news that you need to be aware of as we get ready for the new campaign. GPFans Global on Twitter and Instagram is where to stay up there. And of course, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with everything we produce here at the YouTube channel.